Welcome to our regular show on Niger Superfans Forum. My name is Oluwafemi Ashaolu. Like they say, East or West, home is the best. We'll start today from Nigeria. Of course, the Flamingos, the Nigerian women under 17. Of course, unfortunately, they will be playing their first final. Their journey ended in the semi-final and they lost on penalties against Colombia. But trust me, the girls gave their best. And of course, we'll be talking about the Under-23 Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers. It will be taking place this weekend. Of course, Nigeria and Ghana, the Under-23 team, dream team of Nigeria, and the Black Meteors of Ghana will be involved in games this weekend. And finally, the Ghana Premier League is back because after the injunction against, of course, the GFA and of course the Ghana Premier League was thrown out by the court. So that is the good news. Finally, it is back. So this on the show today, we'll be previewing the week 4 in the Ghana Premier League. James Agberebi joins me physically in the studio. James, you're welcome.
Thank you, Femi. Always a pleasure.
Okay, before I get started, how has it been? The UEFA Champions League, so much surprises. You see a lot of teams dropping to the Europa League.
I still don't want to make the Europa League an attractive.
It's funny, man.
Because we have
on social media, you can see the troll of Barcelona.
We have Barcelona. We have what is this other club?
We have Atletico Madrid.
Even the
they've also dropped
winners, Sevilla.
Yeah, the Europa League is their favorite competition.
Exactly. So we look forward to an exciting
Barcelona. Imagine Barcelona Champions League.
They still have to go through a kind of a qualifier before they get to the group stage. So it's not all.
So it is even more difficult now.
Yes, I think they don't just want it to look like you just
does an easy walk, just stroll into the competition.
It's as if the UEFA want to make the Europa League more attractive, and instead of just stroll into the competition like that, you have to walk before you get into the group stage.
I think CAF actually copied that model, and I think it's also nice because you saw that Rivers
CAF have been doing such.
For overtime?
Yeah, we saw what is it called? Rivers.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. That from the CAF Champions League, you have to play off before you drop into the. Okay, so it at least that actually makes it very, very competitive. James, let's start with under 17, the Flamingos. Unfortunately, Edafe missed that very crucial penalty for Nigeria. It could have been the first final, but of course it is a penalty and a game of luck.
Yeah, I was so unfortunate for the girl that scored the decisive penalty
against the United States of America.
Now missed the crucial penalty, So for me, they've done well. This is just like we always say, this is just a platform to expose these young players, and so far they've really done well. Nobody gave them a chance to even come this far. They took out one of the favorites.
They went further than the under 20.
Yes,
the Falconets
crashed out in the quarterfinals.
So
they were able to make it to the
semi-finals.
The first time.
And they're playing the playoff against the same Germany.
Yes, the Germans lost to Spain
1-0. Yeah.
So for me, the Nigerian girls, at least they were able to have a platform to express themselves. At least we were able to see one or two players who can serve Nigeria in years to come. So I would have loved them to qualify for the final, and they were so close. Unfortunately,
just that decisive kick.
I don't know. But one downside for me about the team is the pattern of play.
You took that off my mouth because Nigerians have been saying that Coach Bankololo Okere seems he didn't have any tactics going into that game against Colombia.
It's as if they just go there, pray, just hope. And
some even said when he was supposed to encourage the girls after he definitely missed that penalty, and he knelt down and was still praying.
So
that is all we do here.
You see, that's the problem I always have with Nigerian coaches. It's as if the one is just go there, pray, and
spirituality is not everything.
You see, okay, look at the opponents. You see those girls as young as they are. It's as if they know what to do. So but we just. Okay, immediately Edafe missed that penalty. You could see that he took a lot from
the
precious.
Even the lady that missed the decisive kick, she was already crestfallen. Yeah, she was already heartbroken before taking the
because they were all waiting for Edafe to just score, but they were not. It's as if they were not prepared for what happens next. They just thought maybe. And from what we learned, she's the the best
penalty taker in the team.
You know, so for her to now miss, I mean, you got to imagine how it would have affected our teammates. So I think that was part of the reason why they just couldn't go. And the coach didn't help matters. He didn't even, you know,
the commentator also said
to ginger them.
The commentator also said that the coach Olowokere didn't have a list of penalty takers, so he just leaves the girl to decide among themselves,
which was very bad, you know. So it just shows the kind of coach he is. Like, he just, I don't know. I think we have to start looking at the kind of coaches we hire for our juniors, because that's the basic. That's the basics. So if you don't get it right there, I mean, it will affect them, you know, going further. Because
but it worked against the US.
What
the fact that he didn't have the list of penalty takers, it worked against the US.
It doesn't happen all the time like that, because it happened against US doesn't mean, I mean, the way they were even immediately they have a miss and it got to certain death. I mean, the way they were just like nobody was
nobody was ready to step up.
To step up, you know. It just goes to show that there was no discussion or plan that in case something like maybe in case we go to certain death, this is what will happen. This, you know, because in certain death it's about a new set of penalty takers.
Yeah.
No, but this one nobody was ready to you know go out and play. So like I said, I wasn't impressed by their pattern of play. I mean, if you watch the other opponents compared to the Nigerian team, it's as if they just play with passion.
Even the game, the Colombians, they were the better side.
You see the other teams, you know that okay, this is the you always want your country to do well, but I mean when things don't go well and I mean you have to point it out. When you see other teams play, you see that cohesion, that organization, but in our own case you don't see that. We begin to imagine, is it that this team they don't really, as in tactically they are not there, or what kind of coach?
But would you say the Colombians also have the advantage, because according to the commentator, 6 of those players played in the under-20 FIFA Women's World Cup.
As long as they are still within the age.
No, I'm not saying, will you say the exposure? Maybe in our girls, some of them, this is the farthest they've gone in their career.
Okay, so what you're saying, trying to say is some of them played in the under-20.
Under-20, and now
but
they are playing in the 17. But they almost knocked out
by Nigeria, that had players who are never. If not for their first penalty miss, we wouldn't be saying this. You know, so for me, like I said, I think going forward, the NFF should try and should start looking for coaches who understand the game, who know how to, you know, come up with tactics, and let these girls know all these things from this stage, so that by the time they you know, in years to come, but not just get to the field and just kick the ball and run and hope and pray singing, and it doesn't take you anywhere, you know. So for me, I think the NFF, the new body now, just have to start looking into competent coaches.
Of course, Ibrahim Gusa was there. He was there at the stadium.
From Bankole Oluwokere, but I want to believe that there are still better coaches than him, based on what we saw in the team, what they played. I mean,
so you think you shouldn't continue with the girls at least to take them into the under-20?
No, he shouldn't. With the way they play, I mean, no, we need the coach.
Well, I didn't think he did badly. Perhaps maybe the Colombians are just tactically better.
The thing is fine. Everybody wanted Nigeria to qualify for the World Cup or even win, but sometimes you just have to look at the pattern of play, how they organize themselves.
Or would you say complacency? Because against the US, maybe the fact that we are playing against the US, so I think they raised their game. But against Colombia, I think
the same approach. I think what they do is they tend to contain their opponent. They know how to contain their opponent. But one sad part about them is that they are not clinical at all. Even no matter the number of chances, they hardly take their chances. Except they are playing against a very weak team. That's when you see them scoring. But against a tactically well-organized team, they struggle. And it just goes to show that in terms of coaching, they lacked a lot. So I feel the NFF, I just have to come up with coaches, sound coaches who understand tactics, who know how to organize team. Not that every time we go to the competition, we'll be hoping and praying and fasting and singing, and we don't need all that. It's just age grade competition, but you just need to start learning those basic things.
Okay, but if you ask me, maybe I might have a contrary opinion, because I would want Bankole Oluwokere to continue with the girls. The fact that they qualified for the competition and went as far as the semi-finals, I think it is something. James, let's talk about the under-23 at the Dream Team. They'll be taking on Tanzania this weekend at the Lake Salami Stadium in Ibadan. This is a must-win game. 1-1 the first leg in Dar es Salaam. This one, there is no excuse. I think if Salisu Yusuf should lose this game, we knew that we lost the CHAN ticket to Ghana again. But if he should lose to Tanzania, I think from there he should just return to Kano.
Well, like I said in our previous edition, the first leg, despite the fact that this is a team that was
already put together,
they were able to, get to a 1-1 draw in the first leg against a team that played the first round,
But Tanzania is no match for Nigeria. We're talking about football. Even if you wake people from sleep and say, "Come, let's go and play against Tanzania," it shouldn't be any difficult thing to do.
I know, but sometimes I remember in 2015 under 20 when Nigeria played against Sudan, the under 15, Emmanuel Aminike's under 17 squad. They graduated into the under 20.
Yeah.
Remember they lost to Sudan right here in Nigeria. They won the first leg 2-1 away. They now came back to Nigeria and they lost 4-3.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't just write teams off. I mean, surprises are still in football. So getting the 1-1 draw away, I think it's a good one. So it's now left for them to, improve from their performance. Because according to the coach, the performance in the first leg was not too. It wasn't that good.
Because you understood the circumstances that surrounded they are coming together.
He said the return leg is going to.
No, they have more time. They have more training sessions.
Exactly. So let's just hope that they're able to get the win and get into the next round, because you can't afford to miss out on the next under 23 AFCON, because that's the qualifiers for the Olympics football event at the 2024 Paris.
In Paris,
Olympics. So it's very important for them to get a good result here.
So if you fail to qualify, I'm just saying, I'm not a prophet of doom, but if we fail, what do you think?
If he fails, I think you should just step aside. I mean, you can't,
because he's failed once in the chaff. I'm sure that was why the NFF gave him this responsibility. You are the assistant coach of the Super Eagles, so at least you should be able to maintain the CHAN team as well as the Olympic team.
Based on experience, because he's one of the most experienced local coach we have now. So for me, he has no excuse now. He just has to get this over with and get a good, not just win, I mean play well and get a good result. Because when you play well, you get a good result. I mean, you boost that confidence. So for me, I wish them all the best, and because it's very important for them to qualify for the Olympics. Because Nigeria, when we get to the Olympics, there's only this thing about us. So I think we should just pray that the team does well in the game against Tanzania, so that you're able to move into the third round. Okay,
so this weekend, everyone, of course, we expect victory from the under-23 teams. Of course, coached by Salisu Yusuf, the Lekan Salami Stadium in Ibadan. So if you're in Ibadan, please troop to the stadium, of course, to support the under-23 team of course, Nigeria. Let's quickly go on this break. When we return, we will make a trip to Ghana. Like I told you, the Ghana Premier League is back, and last week, the GFA declared a national day of fasting for the Black Stars for the 2022 FIFA World Cup. How many of you fasted? For our Ghanaian fans, how many of you fasted? Please indicate in the comment section if you fast. We want to know, because last Friday, I know the Muslims in Ghana, of course, they observed it. So I want to know if the Christians actually observed that fast on Sunday. So how many of you fasted for the Black Stars? So if the Black Stars fail to do well at the 2022 World Cup, then it is your fault. We'll be back. Please stay with us. Welcome back. It's still Nigeria Super Fans Forum. Of course, James Agberebe is still with me in the studio. If I told you what my producer said during the break, I wouldn't say it at all. Okay, James, good news, of course. Ashanti Gold, the injunction against the GFA or the Ghana Premier League, as the case may be, was thrown out. And of course, this weekend, we will be witnessing week 4 of the Ghana Premier League for the 2022-2023 season. Let's quickly read the fixtures. Out of folk, of course, will be hosting Bibiani Gold Stars, the Accra Sports Stadium. Beckham United will be hosting Kotoku Royals. Unsua Treman, of course, will be hosting Karela United. Accra Lions will travel to face Dream FC. Then Edwana Stars will be the guest of Medema. Then Legon Cities will be hosting Berecom Chelsea. FC Samatex 1996 will be hosting Great Olympics. Then Tamale City will be hosting. This is a derby. Temale City will be hosting Red Temale United, Kayode's team. And of course, we have King Faisal. Of course, they will be hosting Ashanti Kotoko. Let's look at Hearts. Of course, it's been very disastrous for them, James, out of the continent, as well as even, of course, as well as Kotoko. But let's look at Hearts. Opportunity for them to bounce back. Now they have a foreign coach. I think it's an opportunity for them to bounce back.
Yeah, very important game coming up for them. Their first win in the season was on the continent. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough to see them through into the next round. I think this is the time for them to start picking up important points because they've not been doing well in the league. What better way to start than facing their opponents this weekend, and hopefully they will be able to kickstart their season, because it's very important for them to start picking up important points so that they will not start lagging behind. And let's just hope that the new coach will be able to put the team together and come up with a good tactics, good plan, so that they're able to get the groove back, because the fans are not happy with them. Their performances have not been encouraging.
Remember what happened in their Conditions Cup against Red Bamako? That some of the club officials were kidnapped directly.
Sometimes you know that you want to say, okay, the fans, they went too far, but the fans, you can't predict them, especially when they are angry. You're not doing what they love, and they keep supporting you. The fact that they keep coming to the stadium to watch you play and show that they love the team. They just wanted the players to up their game, and the officials to start doing something positive, because Out of Folk cannot continue like this. It's a very big club, not only in Ghana, also in Africa. So it's important for them to start picking up on that, and which better way than to start this weekend. It's very important. If they can get victory against their opponents, it will kickstart the season for them, and who knows, maybe they will become one of the favorites for the league title this season.
Okay, but what I'm not very, very clear about is in a judgment in the case brought Ashanti Gold brought against the league, is that Judge Barbara Tete, in a judgment, she said that the GFA will suffer more than Ashanti Gold. But that area, I don't know if she feels that the GFA or the Premier League has done something wrong against Ashanti Gold. I think she should have allowed judgment to prevail, but anyway, is what I think. And of course, she also awarded 20,000 Ghana cedis against Ashanti Gold. So it's double losses for Ashanti Gold. James, I don't know how much of a prophet you are. I don't know whether you are the new Paul the Octopus. And it, of course, for emphasis sake, it's almost 12 years now since Paul the Octopus died. Remember 2010 World Cup? He predicted 8 out of the 8 games that he was asked to predict. So we don't know if you're going to have a new prophet for ahead of this World Cup. I don't know how much of a crystal ball you see, James, but the GFA declared fasting last week. Fasting and prayer for the Black Stars to do it at the World Cup. Like I said, I know a couple of Muslims in Ghana, they observed it last Friday. Then Christians, I do not know if they actually did that on Sunday. But does it work, James?
Well, it's about what you believe in. If you feel prayer and fasting will take you...
is it about fasting or doing what you're supposed to do?
The thing is, as long as there's nobody can say, okay, don't.
In as much as some people say they do not believe in black magic in football, that it doesn't work, that if it works, Africa will have won the World Cup.
It's about putting the right things in place. Then when you pray, you just pray for God to just help you see, provided you've done the most important thing, the preparation, the issue of bonuses have been taken care of, and by the time you now get to the World Cup and things don't, you know that you've done your part.
You don't play on empty stomach.
So that's just because the teams you don't hear things like this in countries like in Europe, or though they pray too, but you know that they
do the needful.
The needful. That's the thing. Want to do the needful, the preparation, and the Black Stars team that got to the almost got to the semi-final of the World Cup. I mean, you see that team have been coming from AFCON 2010. They got to the final. You know, that's a team that, the progress. You know a team that will go far. It's not just, so that it makes me to feel like when you start calling for national prayers, that as if you don't even know the next thing to do, you just feel like you can just pray your way to success.
James, you are not believer. You are not believer.
But let them just do the right thing. Good preparation, make sure the issues about money and everything has been taken care of. Then the team, everything will fall in place.
But that appears it won't be a problem at this World Cup for Ghana.
Hopefully it won't. Hopefully.
So you do not like the prayer and national prayer.
No, I don't like the idea of not making it the national issue. Like, I mean, you don't need all that. Just the most important, like I said, put the right thing in place. The guys will do well.
Obviously, James didn't like the idea by the GFA to declare national praying and fasting day for the Black Stars, but I believe in God, so I don't know. But the most important thing is even, I think the Bible says walk without prayer is dead. So the Black Stars, the GFA, need to do the needful, and once that is done, every other thing will be taken care of. James Agberebi, thank you for coming on the show.
Always a pleasure.
Unfortunately, time is not always our friend, and this is where we'll be drawing the curtain on today's episode. Don't forget to continue to watch out for our daily countdown to the 2022 FIFA World Cup as regards Ghana, particularly with special attention. Then all the other 4 representatives that will be doing the flying the colors of the continent in Qatar. Until then, don't forget, watch out. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for staying through with Nigeria Super Fans Forum, for all your comments, everything, the criticisms, the encouragement. We appreciate everything, and we thank you very much. Until next time, bye for now. I remain Oluwafemi Ashaolu.